to the father, the husband, and the man who has built everything. As a woman, as a daughter, as a sister, as a granddaughter, I just want to say thank you without trying to say I'm a pick-me-up girl here, but it actually tears me up. Because after a couple of years being a therapist to solely men in general, it has really taught me in my own life how unnoticed and misunderstood the men in my life were. And gentlemen, maybe this resonates with you, but it's a story about my grandfather. Growing up, I've never seen him complain. I've never seen him break down. He's always been extremely respectful, and most importantly, I've always felt safe and provided for. And as a woman, I always thought that that was what life was supposed to be. That's how men are. They're cold and they have little words, and as a woman, you're supposed to be safe. It's your privilege? No, I never noticed that. It's a sense of entitlement that I never knew I was in. And now that I've been a therapist for a lot of men for a couple of years now, I've noticed how empty and lonely the life of a man can be. When you go to work, you're fighting. When you come home, you're fighting your emotional battles. You can't complain. You have to act calm. You can't react. You're like a soldier coming back from war, but nobody around you understands how hard it was. To be a good man, to be a good father, to be a good husband, you're told by everybody around you that you have to be the strong one. And yes, you're strong, probably 99.9% of the time, but you have crap going on too, right? And hear me out, because I have this challenge for you. Gentlemen, I'm sure you have a softer side, or a messier side, or a funnier side that you never allow your family to see. You never allow your wife to see too much of, or even your children, more specifically if they're young. The video games that you secretly love playing with them, but because you have to be a disciplinarian, you tell them to shut it off after 30 minutes, when in actuality, you really wanted to continue playing with them. So I want to challenge you to let loose a little bit. Let that side out a little bit. Reveal the mask that you've been wearing for the longest of time. Because feeling happiness and fulfillment isn't always connected to obligation and responsibility. Yes, 99% of the time. But the challenge I have for you to reconnect with your family and reconnect with yourself is just let loose a little bit, okay? Maybe if you take off that mask and say a funny dad joke, or taking off the armor isn't always easy because you've been used to wearing armor for the longest of time. But your kids are going to grow up and they want to connect with you. And just because you play video games with them for 8 hours, couple of days during the year, doesn't mean you're a bad dad, okay? And so I challenge you to be a little bit more present and take off that mask. You'd be surprised how calming and relaxing and fulfilling that feels. And most importantly, how safe that actually feels. Because we all know, gentlemen, you need safety too. You need peace. So if you are that man who doesn't even know how to begin to take off that armor or process the wounds in which you've gathered throughout these years, feel free to book a one-on-one call with one of our therapists. And first, reconnect with yourself, reconnect with your values and what's important, reconnecting with your partner and children, slowly, day by day.